Somebody once told me the world is... Oh, we're about to get DMCA'd because of that. Because that was pitch perfect.
Let's lock this in.
Who do you think would need more auto-tune, me or you?
Me.
I know. My voice is kind of like just a natural talent, you know?
I don't think your voice can get pitch corrected. Turn me up.
Turn me up. Why do you need to hear yourself so much?
So I don't have to shout into the mic.
I mean, just talk normal.
Yeah, but if it's a little quiet, I'm going to start talking a little louder so I can hear myself.
Yeah, I kept on... Because I did that.
5, 4, 3, 2, episode 100. Here we are.
This is episode 100, huh?
We've made it.
Yeah. But because I use this also for my streaming and shit, the other day I was like freaking out because I was like, why is everybody on Discord screaming at me? And I hated it. Mm-hmm. I had no fucking idea until I realized that I turned it up for the podcast.
Right.
And just everything was so... I was like...
I also like it being a little bit louder because I feel like I'm a little intimate. You know, I feel like I'm really locked into the conversation. You know, we're dialed in.
Because I'm in your ear then?
No, I mean both of us.
I'm in your ear canals?
Yeah, turn it up even more. I like it louder.
No, I don't. Because then I'll forget.
You can turn it down.
Then I'll forget.
Yeah, well then we can, you know, there we go.
So you like it like this?
Yeah, I like
Dude,
that.
this is blaring in my fucking ears.
Yeah,
now.
but I like that.
It's actually probably better though. This is actually better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I get so loud that I could, like, this at least lets
now
me
you know. Now you know.
Hey, you're screaming, James.
Right.
James, you're screaming.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a good segue into our Friday night.
Oh well, do you want to talk about Friday night first, or do you want to talk about how we, you know, the 100 episodes? That's a lot.
That's a lot. Nobody thought that we would make it. You know, it started off. This all started off as a spiteful thing.
To who?
To be bigger, taller, stronger, faster, more athletic than Andrew Seeland.
Than Rec League Sports.
Rec League Sports.
Yeah.
Yes. All it was in spite of them.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to make a podcast, we could do it,
Yeah.
you know, twice as good, twice as better,
Yeah.
and get twice the viewers. And if we have 2 viewers, then yeah, it is.
And
twice
if
the
we
viewers.
need to, we'll suck their dick.
No problem.
Yeah.
We have no issues with that.
That's how good we are.
And we've really stayed true to ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
We still hate Whitney Cummings. We've always thought David Dobrik was a rapist. We've said that from day one.
Yeah. We've said that for a while now.
Yeah.
Yes. It's been a long time. We still ride or died with Greg Marcus. He's still our fucking...
We're still waiting for
White
him.
Buffalo.
He'll be our first guest.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Our very first guest. And here's the thing. Some people will like deny their pasts and stuff. I'm with them because I'll delete our other 2 guest podcasts.
I tried to get a surprise guest on this podcast.
Which one?
He didn't want to come.
Who?
Who do you think it was?
David Fraley?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't he want to come?
He declined.
Did he?
He said he would
He would if I wasn't there?
Yes. He said he would be a guest host, but he wouldn't be a surprise guest.
Okay. Yeah. I don't ever. That guy's never allowed on my podcast. My podcast.
Okay.
And he's also not allowed in my house, my home. I want to make that clear.
He can come.
No.
Okay.
If he walks up my stairs, I will Spartan kick him in the chest.
So for the 100th episode, we have literally nothing planned. It's the exact same as normal.
Same as always.
To all the people who haven't been watching the whole time.
Spoiler alert. We're going to talk about being really fucked up. We're going to talk about coming. We're going to be talking about jerking off. The same old, same old.
I do have a revelation about all those things.
Yeah.
It's been a mystery in this household that's been untouched upon for a while.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So there has been piss droplets along the rim of the bowl of our toilet since we moved in. And I've always just known it was you. That's what I've had in my head. And you've always known it was me. Mm-hmm. That's what you've had in your head.
Yes.
And we've never really addressed it. I honestly was just like, oh, that's for sure him, because that's something that I thought you would do. But sometimes when you would pee with the door open, which is all the time, and I would walk in, I thought you would go, ah, shit, he's here. Now I'll wipe it.
No, I do it every time.
And you've said you've done it every time. And I know I've done it every time. I've done it my entire life.
Yes.
So,
well, because you have to realize it's not you that my mom used to scream.
Mine as well.
Scream at me.
Yes.
Because women, them being not as good at bowel movements, have to sit down.
So I attacked you.
Yes.
In front of everybody.
Yes.
Because they brought it up and I said, oh yeah, James does that. You got angry.
Very angry.
Yeah.
Because that's slanderous.
Right. here is what we've discovered. It actually isn't slanderous. It's actually a compliment to you. And I'll tell you why.
Because I be painting bowls.
Because you paint bowls.
I paint bowls.
And what we learned is that with you, the amount of bowls that you paint with explosive diarrhea, which is every day, the splatter gets underneath.
Well, it's like because there's pee in the bucket. And then when it drops down.
It ricochets.
It gets the pee that's already in the toilet bowl onto there.
Because when you hit that toilet bowl, you're exploding. You're painting bowls.
Painting bowls.
I was thinking about this.
I have diarrhea at least 4 to 5 times a week.
And we never realized that attributed to
It's my superpower.
I guess so.
It's my super.
There's a quote in The Irishman. It's like the Irishman's based on a book. And it's like the quote that's in the book. It's the quote. It's the one line that everybody loves about it.
Yes.
The Irishman is the hitman for the mob. Okay. Right? And he did a lot of hits for a Chicago politician, right?
Is this going to spoil the movie?
No.
Okay.
No. It's so you know how mobsters talk. They don't say, "Can you kill this person for me?" They use euphemisms. Euphemisms.
I think so.
Right? So they use different phrasing terminology. So the politician calls the Irishman. And like the line that he loves is, "I hear you paint houses." People can say the same thing about you.
I hear you paint bowls.
I hear you paint bowls.
So
and instead of, killing people, you just take massive shits.
Take massive fucking shits.
And instead of putting blood in the house.
Yeah. I'm just putting shit on the back wall of a toilet bowl. Yeah, I do paint bowls. I kind of was telling I was talking in Discord yesterday, and this person had a line that just caught me off guard.
What was it?
I was like, yeah, I have diarrhea like 4 to 5 times a week. And he goes, "That's nice. Diarrhea's clutch."
That's good.
Which I have no idea what that means.
He's right. That's nice. Diarrhea's clutch.
Diarrhea's clutch. And then when I go, hey, elaborate on that. He goes, "Sometimes you just got to be in and out of there, and diarrhea just flushes you out, And I go, "Yeah, but if I have diarrhea, I have to use a whole roll of toilet paper to wipe my butt."
I know people will hear what you just said and go, "Oh, that's hyperbole."
It's not hyperbolized.
I will leave this house and come back, and there's 2 empty rolls in the toilet bin.
That's a bit hyperbolized. That's a bit hyperbolized.
I will make a new roll and I'll put it on. And
you'll change the roll at say 2-3 p.m. when you come home from work.
2 more rolls will be gone.
No, and then I'll text you at 11 p.m. that night and say, "Where's the toilet paper? I need toilet paper."
I need more. You crank toilet paper out more than anybody else. My old roommate, he had bowel problems.
You're talking me up.
My old roommate had bowel problems. The complete reverse.
He didn't poop.
He couldn't poop. You can't stop pooping. Yeah. It's crazy how the spectrum.
Well, there is a thing too where you said it. I have the weirdest morning routine. It's say it's a Saturday. I drank a lot the night before, so therefore I have.
You don't need to say that. People already assume it.
Yeah, they know.
It's Saturday, so obviously I drank on Friday.
Yes, and so I wake up you and your girlfriend having a normal time. You guys are up. Yeah, you guys are up at 9 a.m.
I usually wake up at 9 because that's sleeping in for me because I wake up at 5:30.
Yes, so you guys are on the TV already.
Morning's already done. Coffee's already done.
Probably made coffee. You guys are sitting here. I get up, walk out in my skin piece.
Out.
And sometimes I give you guys what's going on?
You give a line that you've maybe been cooking up for a little bit before you come out, or it's natural.
Yeah, or it's and I just give you guys the sexy ice in my veins.
Yeah.
I walk to the bathroom, rattle the household.
No.
Whole household shakes.
Some people would laugh. There's no laughter in the house because this is so common within.
When I first moved in.
When we first moved in, which was months ago.
It was funny because really there isn't much soundproofing in this house.
Oh, I thought you were saying there's really no variation of my days. This happens.
This happens pretty much all the time. Yes, and
so you'll come out around 11:30. Do that. Oh, fucking A.
What? It ended up going to the screensaver.
I turned it off too. Keep going.
100 episodes later, we still got it, baby. Yeah, so there's no variation in that. There's little to no soundproofing in here. And David's room is right near the bathroom, which just makes it even way worse. So the first few times, your girlfriend would give it a little bit of a chuckle. Now she only chuckles in front of people. And when I do it just alone here, it's just like, oh, that's just James's morning routine.
Yeah, After you do it the first time, you'll go back to sleep for another 3 hours, and then you'll do it again.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Then I fully wake up.
Why do you do it twice in the day? Why is it like?
Because the issue is, right, the first time usually isn't a poop.
Yeah, the first one is just getting farts out. The second one is poops.
The first one is usually like, okay, I've been holding in my farts all night, don't want to fart in my bed and accidentally shit myself and then splatter all over the fucking bed, and I'm painting beds instead of painting bowls.
Nobody has that issue. When
That's my biggest fear.
When they're farting in beds, they're just painting their bed.
That's my biggest fear.
I know.
Because imagine me coming out there and rather than stumbling out to go rattle the house, I'm just painting.
Think about this, though.
Like, imagine me just covered in shit.
The feeling's not that different because you're usually covered in sweat. Yeah. Just replace sweat with shit.
Yeah. And then
Tyler Voss and I were talking about how when he came over and you were sleeping, he just he heard sloshing around and he just saw that there was just puddles in there from the sweat that radiates off your body. Your room is like a swamp in there.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting out here, you're like, is that a waterbed? That's just your bed. You're just in the fucking. Yeah. You're just in the sweat.
I'm just sweating it out.
Why do you get so? Why is your room so hot in there?
Sauna.
I know. What is that from? Your body?
Got to crank it up. My body. I also think it's
that's
because
actually why you get so cold. Is because it's so hot in there, and then you come out to a normal temperature, and you're fucking freezing.
Yeah,
71 in here, and it's not hot.
I think that it's my computer. I need to turn off my computer when I sleep.
You don't turn off your computer ever.
Ever. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an issue at the old place with Elizabeth and I. Mm-hmm. The PlayStation would just heat the room.
Yes.
So you just have to turn that bitch off.
Because we don't have big rooms, so if it's just it's on all the time, so it just ends up making the room hotter, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get really sweaty. I hold in my farts. I come out sweaty and filled with farts. I shake this fucker down.
100 episodes later, not much has changed.
Not much has changed. That's the life that I've been living my whole life. I wake up and do that. That's my morning routine. This morning, I woke up. I've been unemployed for about a month now.
Sure.
And this morning, every single morning since 11, sometimes noon.
Yeah.
That's what time I wake up.
Most of the time, 1.
Never 1. I very rarely, unless I drink the day before, don't sleep past noon.
Okay.
But this morning, woke up at 8:30.
Yeah.
Woke up at 8:30, did laundry.
Sure.
Made some coffee, had some coffee.
Wow.
Showered.
Had a normal day. Normal routine.
Yeah. And I'm probably going.
I guess that is exciting.
Maybe going to go to the gym later.
As somebody who has a pretty standard routine.
Yes.
This isn't that crazy.
You have a girl though.
Yeah, but if I didn't have a girl, when I was working out consistently, I got into a routine like that as well. Yeah, yeah. I like routine like that.
I don't.
I love that.
I mean, because here's the thing. I'm gaming.
I know.
And you can't hate me because I'm gaming. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Routine is nice.
It's all right.
It's pretty good.
I do feel a lot better today. But that also comes with me being hungover for an entire day yesterday.
Sure.
All day.
Yeah.
I fell asleep at 10.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't, my body ached. Mm-hmm. I'm getting too old for this shit.
I did the same thing on Saturday. Kind of slept all day. Not really hungover. But what we did was really intense.
Yeah.
And also the feeling after that is not really hangover, but you're not 100%. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just kind of feel fried.
Well, I mean, do you want to talk about Friday?
I do.
Friday.
That was the segue into it.
Friday, we watched the greatest movie of all time.
Let's set the precursor because you have anger that you've been telling every person that has come through the door.
Yes. So Friday night comes around.
I got friends out of town. My girlfriend's out of town. I've been saying to James this whole weekend, doing nothing. Don't even try to talk to me because I'm not listening.
Yeah. So we have two friends, Tyler and Beth. You know,
they always want to do plans.
Always have to be.
If there's an empty day, they're filling it up.
And you're like, you like to do things for the most part. So like, you'll just say yes every single time. Me, on the other hand, I like to do things, but I also value my not doing thing time. And that's what I do.
I almost never do things. So when I have a free weekend like this, I'm like, this is a once in a lifetime situation. I'm going to take it. And I'm not going to take anything from anybody.
So Friday comes around, you call me, you get off work pretty decently.
About 1 o'clock.
For Friday, pretty early.
Which is crazy on a Friday. We got March Madness going.
Yes.
I'm jacked. I'm already done at the gym by 2 o'clock.
You call me and you go, hey, what do you want from the liquor store?
I'm preparing for everything.
I name off the 2 things I want. You go, all right, I'm headed home in a little bit. But just so you know, this is your last time talking to me.
Because then I'm locking in.
Because I'm locked into March
Madness.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, this guy's just, that's all he's doing all day. Nice. And then because you're doing nothing, I make the joke. I go, you're taking a little walk down James Street, huh? And then I take it as like you just being cocky and not wanting to. You're like, no, I'm going down David Lane. And then I was like,
occupied by 3.
No, we go back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, but James Street, it's pretty nice. It's very chill.
Yeah, they can see it too.
All I'm getting at is that you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because my thing is I do nothing.
Yeah.
You then go, I go, there's always room for 2 down James Street, though. You go, well, David Boulevard's is occupied by 3.
Little does he know I'm cooking up a little plan to hang out with 2 people. Unbeknownst, he doesn't know who. And we're going to watch the 4-hour Justice League movie and take edibles.
Which I had already watched the movie the day before.
Yep.
Immediately.
Sure.
Told you already that.
And I told you to not watch it. I said, why don't you wait for me? Because I would have watched it with you.
Yeah.
But he cranked it out on his own.
Cranked it out. I mean, I'm happy that I did. Because I did enjoy the movie. But you then, I go, hey, but seriously, like, you're not having people over, are you? Because that'll change my plans.
So I gave him a little giggle. And I was like, no.
Yeah. Which I take as he was just fucking with me because you had literally just told me not to bother you all day because you're doing nothing.
Yeah. No, I was doing something.
So you had this plan, which then I go, all right, well, I'm going to stream or go on this podcast, which, I mean, it's like, if I'm having people over.
You don't need to go on a podcast because you have one.
I do.
It's right here.
And because I'm like, whatever, I just like, if there's people over, I can't stream. I can't do any of that because it all gets picked up on my microphone. Like it's like if we were trying to do this podcast with people over.
Okay.
Our house is too small.
Sure.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So like, which is fine. If you would have just told me.
Sure.
But then T-Voss pulls up.
Yeah, I wanted it to be a surprise because I thought it was going to be a good surprise.
And you go, he's here.
So it's immediate anger.
It's immediate anger.
Luckily, he came inside quick enough where it diffused the tension pretty fast.
Yes.
And then, little did you know, another friend's coming.
Yeah. Mike comes on over.
So you have decided, I'm not going on the podcast. I'm going to hang out with the fellas. I'm going to get wild with them. We all were like, he's not coming out.
I've already been drinking.
Yeah, he's not coming out. So we order food without you.
Which is annoying because I was in there for maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, I
was finishing up a game that I was in already.
We all decided to order food. Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys get food just
quickly.
Without me. Yeah, without me. Immediately.
Sure.
And I had already told you prior, I said, what are we having for dinner?
Yeah.
And I was included on your dinner plans. But as soon as the friends came over, no. So then I was forced to then order $62 worth of pizza.
Yeah, we cranked that too.
Yeah, I know.
What a guy.
But
so
I was very...
We popped these edibles.
And I was very scared.
The 3 of us took 20 milligrams while you took 10. And then we proceeded to finally watch the 4-hour cut of Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League.
And I'm a person who
has already seen it.
Has very bad panic attacks when I smoke
Sure.
or do any type of
Sure.
weed. So I'm skeptical about it.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting for it.
And we
Like
did this
edibles
whole-
are the worst
And
because
we did this whole peer pressure thing.
yeah,
We got him to do it.
they locked arms around me. Peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure. And I ended up doing it, and it was fucking hilarious.
It was the greatest movie experience I've ever had in my entire life.
by far.
Without even without any review of the actual movie. I
Yeah.
mean, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Definitely 2 hours in, I was really freaking out. I was panicking like crazy.
Yes. Everybody was panicking a little bit.
Everybody was panicking, but not bringing it up to each other.
Yeah.
Because nobody wanted to be the first person to have a panic attack.
But as I was panicking, I realized that everybody was panicking because I don't know if T-Boss was because I said it.
He sat in a couch in the spot that you're sitting right now for 4 hours and did not move a
that
muscle.
move because he was so dialed into the movie.
He was dialed in.
And it was so funny because although he was quote unquote dialed in, he was always 2 scenes behind. Like he'd see a person on the screen and he'd go, you'd be like, you'd say something like, man, what is, like, I don't like her acting or something like that. And you'll be like, T-Boss would say, this is her first time on screen. And we'd already seen her 3 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he sat here, didn't move.
No.
Not a single
Yeah,
movement.
Mike kept looking out the window.
He thought that his car was rolling down the hill. And then when he finally got a call, your first instinct was like, oh no, somebody just called about his car rolling down the street.
Yeah, he had convinced me.
Yeah.
And I started panicking from that. I couldn't stop drinking water. I kept refilling my cups of water thinking that was going to calm me down.
Me, I couldn't stop painting bowls.
Yeah. When in doubt, start painting bowls.
Yeah, I got up and I just sit on the toilet for a while because that's like my safe space. You can't have a panic attack. You might not know this, but you can't have a panic attack on a toilet.
You know you can't have a panic attack when water's in your mouth either.
Yeah,
That's what I
no,
learned.
you can because you just spit it out.
Well, so it would be different. What would happen is we would start panicking, and then somebody would say something, and then everybody would crack up, and then you would start panicking because you were like, "Oh no, we're gonna die from laughter."
Yeah,
You looked up.
I Googled at one point. I said, "Can you die of laughter?" And everybody laughed at that, but it was like a ha 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 ha, and then
As the
immediately
laugh died.
stops. Mike goes, "But can you though?"
What did it say?
Yeah, what did it say? That's what it was.
What did it say?
What did it say? And then that just was like, I couldn't stop laughing at him asking that then because all I got was videos, like America's Funniest Home Videos. Like, you'll cry of laughter or die of laughter watching this. It's just like a guy on ATV. I was like, oh, thank God.
Do you want to pitch here what you pitched us for your idea for a Flash comic book series?
It was not good.
No, I know it wasn't.
And
it also died in the room too.
Yeah.
None of us were saying it was good.
while we were very high, where everything should be funny,
Yeah.
I pitched the idea that there should be this comic book about like a Flash-like character, like everything slowed down.
Yeah.
And it's like Dexter meets Flash meets a rapist.
Okay.
And this Flash is just all he does is he's a notorious rapist, but he works for the crime detectives.
So yeah, and then we were like, "What?" And you're like, "No, I'm not trying to glorify rape." And we were like, "You kind of are. You kind of are trying to do that."
Yeah.
He just died in the room.
Yeah.
And you were like, "I don't know what to do." And we're like, "What? So he solves crimes, but he rapes?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Yeah." We're
But
like,
he's
"That's
like-
a fucking horrible
He's
idea."
like Dexter.
Yeah. I don't even.
But
Nobody.
he's very fast.
Yeah, but he does. You know what's the difference with that?
And they
Is
don't
that
know this.
Dexter kills murderers. Would the Flash rape other rapists?
Yeah, he could do that.
I don't think that's what he meant it.
I couldn't. It wasn't. But I have had this idea for like The only reason why
I've had
I
this
thought of
idea for a while about Flash
No,
being a
for
rapist.
Batman, where he like tries to be a vigilante,
Yeah.
but he just beats the fuck out of people, and it's just like he's committing crimes as he's like trying to stop these people from doing crimes.
What does that have to do with the Flash handling girls?
Because I'm trying to think of like other superheroes to work off of.
The reason why we brought it up is because I know we're making a joke about that,
Yes.
but in the movie, the first scene with the Flash, it like represents his powers, and he saves this girl from a car accident.
Yes.
But the whole time, I just felt really uncomfortable the way he was handling the
Cosmonaut,
girl.
I think, also brought up how he felt really
Which is weird because I watched Red Letter Media, and they loved the scene. They thought it was a great representation of his powers. They thought him grabbing the hot dog was funny. Him grabbing the hot dog was funny, but because we just liked glizzies.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about the hot dogs.
Why does he need to keep a glizzy on him?
So I was like, why did they show us this?
Why is he touching her like that? And he's like
He's like caressing her.
Yes.
It's really sensually the whole time.
It's very odd.
And it makes me uncomfortable. The way he looks at her and the way like after he saves her, they just have a small little moment. Yeah. Like basically he goes, I did something to you that you don't know. And then he dips out.
Yes.
And I was like,
and that's where I got the idea from.
And that's where he got the idea that.
But at the time, we were laughing hysterically at how uncomfortable that scene made us. So at the time, I was like, "Oh, this."
Maybe people think it's a beautiful scene. I did not.
Yeah.
So you watched you watched Justice League before the 4-hour endeavor that we had, which was easily the most intense thing I've been a part of in a long time.
Yes.
And then I watched it after the fact because I was like, okay. My opinion of the movie is going to be completely skewed because we were talking over it. We were talking about the Flash raping girls. Like, it really...
We also went on this, like... This is somewhat of a spoiler, I guess. But we talk about how Cyborg becomes Cyborg. And the box, like, creates Cyborg.
Sure.
And
we went into like a 20-minute discussion.
Not 20 minutes. It lasted the whole movie.
About
From
how
the 2-hour point onward, we would bring it up almost every 10 minutes on the dot. Yeah. And we talked about it for 5 or so
about
minutes.
How he got his powers, if that's canon to the comic books or if there's
But nobody knew what the question was.
So Tyler Voss would ask the question.
Yes.
And I would answer the question without having the answers.
Yes.
And then you would get angry at me.
Yes.
And then Mike would try to explain the whole situation, and then it rinse and repeat for 10 minutes on the dot.
And then because you would answer the question, not have the answer. And Tivos would ask the question, not knowing his question.
He would say, how did he get the powers? Did the box give him the powers like in canon? And I said, no, he's just a guy. No box related.
He didn't even say canon. He just... In other stuff.
Yeah, and I would say, in other stuff, he's just a guy, no box.
Yeah. And, like, you just would keep on screaming that. And then
box unrelated.
Yes. And Mike would, like, try to be the mediator, but I would just be so angry at you for trying to be the one to answer it. Because I was like, this guy has no idea what's going on in the movie.
But that's right, because I watched Teen Titans, where Cyborg is just kind of a guy.
But you also had no idea about the box or what the box did yet.
I've seen Justice League twice now. I guess 3 times if you count the theatrical cut. I still don't think I know what the box does. So
yes, exactly.
I guess we both like the movie. You like it more than I do. I think it's about a 6.5, 7 and 10. I think it's the greatest movie experience I've ever had, and it will always be like something I love. I actually even like the 4x3 now that it's
even without the edibles.
Yeah,
it goes Forrest Gump.
Yep.
Beautiful Mind.
Yep.
And then Justice League Zack Snyder cut kind of tied with Gladiator.
Sure.
Yeah.
No problem with that. And I don't. That's a lot of people's list too.
It's everybody's list, I think. At this point, it's so crazy because everybody had the same sentiment about this movie. It was, why do we need it? You know what I mean? It's like, who's asking for it?
I guess a bunch of people, and people, unnameless, faceless people.
But like movie like critics and stuff like that, they are all pretty much like nobody cares. Like we like in everybody else's mind, because at this point, Zack Snyder doesn't have a whole lot of credibility to him.
On my opinion, and many of like the internet critics' opinion is like, okay, I know there's a huge fan push for this, but what we're gonna get is gonna be another mediocre or dog shit movie because of all of the other Batman versus Superman movies, or Man of Steel, or fucking the Watchmen movies. Yes. So everybody was like, okay, so like I'm glad they're coming out with it, because like he gets to relive his vision, but don't expect, or like he gets to do the movie the way he wanted to, but don't expect anything good out of this. And to everybody's surprise, it's pretty good.
Very good.
It's pretty good.
A lot of people
You think very good? I think good.
A lot of people are saying very good though.
The issues that I have with it are the issues I kind of have with every Zack Snyder film is that his scenes they're long.
Yeah.
A lot of slow-mo. A lot of he makes things very, very intense and serious, and it almost becomes a little bit pretentious. This movie is actually not bad.
Yeah.
But like the singing like Nordic people to Aquaman.
Yeah, that's
it's a little
didn't need that.
It's a little over the top.
Yes.
So he does that extensively in this movie because he has the green light to do whatever he wants. Also, like everything in the epilogue, basically.
Yeah.
I didn't love.
Yeah.
We're spoiling this movie. So Martian,
we don't need to. Let's not spoil it because I feel like I'm going to actually like talk about this. Like I'm going to post this other places. So this one will probably get a little bit more.
Well, why don't we talk about
Yeah, we can be very vague.
Well, let's talk about it for a little bit, and then at the end we'll say now we're going to spoil it. So we'll be vague. You don't want to at all?
No.
Why not?
I don't want to spoil it at all.
Why?
Because I think I'm going to post this on social media in general.
Okay, fine.
We can be very vague. You don't have to be like.
Well, if we talk
because
about
me and you can talk about it on our own, which I'm fine with. I don't need that on here.
Okay. Well, if you don't want to do that, that's
it's the 100th episode, dude.
So what? Yeah, people watch videos about like spoilers and not spoilers videos.
Yeah, but most people that I'm going to post this to probably haven't seen the movie, so I would rather not.
Yeah, but if we give them warning, then it's not that crazy.
No. The epilogue, I think, is very odd.
Honestly, if you just cut the movie right there as like a viewer, great movie.
Yeah. The issue is it seemed like some of the ending shit was just more like, hey, these are going to be like post-credit scenes. Mm-hmm. And then they got like put into the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
so it makes it longer, and
the reason is like obvious. Like, just give us everything you got, Zach.
Yeah,
pretty much. So, of all the videos I've been watching, all of the like Justice League, like the original theatrical cut by Joss Whedon, it's alarming how much they reshot for like this. They just redid that entire movie.
Yeah.
Because they just were like, fuck it, make it more like Marvel. And
even then, like, they just missed the mark so much.
It's crazy because they were like, his daughter obviously like died tragically. That's why he left. That's why Joss Whedon came in and changed it. So they saw that shit and they were like, oh good, now we get to change everything and do it the way we want. Now we can hire in Joss, make it like Avengers, make it like Marvel, so we can start making money. Like, sorry that your daughter died, but like, cool that that's basically how they were. They're like, fuck it, we're gonna change everything.
We want it how we want it.
It's like, why even hire the guy if you didn't want him to like do this shit in the first place?
Yeah,
they spent like $100 million.
What does Joss Whedon make outside of
the Avengers?
Oh, did he?
The first Avengers, yeah.
I mean, I guess
and Avengers: Age of Ultron and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
It's just weird to me, right? Because in this movie, the biggest thing that's different in the movie is that almost every single character has like a backstory and rhyme to reason. And like in the original Justice League, they just like left out so much of that stuff, especially about the villain.
You know how Batman figures out about the mother boxes in the first one?
I don't remember it. No.
In the very first couple scenes, he like kills one of the flying bugs. Mm-hmm. He like stops like a cat burglar mugger, and he's like hanging him off the building. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "They smell fear." And then like the bug is like like in your face. So Batman shoots him with a gun, and then his blood splatters on the wall. And then it's the 3 mother boxes, and that's how we find out about the mother boxes.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So I've just recently watched a bunch of comparisons of like, because I was so interested. I haven't seen the Justice League since it came out in 2017. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck did they all change?
I watched it the once, and
they changed so much.
Yes.
That's why they spent like $100 million to completely change the movie and hope that it would be like Marvel. Yeah. For everybody to hate it, and then 4 years later, spend another $70 million to finish this version.
Yeah,
It's the biggest fucking waste of money I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, but what we got was good.
What we got is good, but also I don't understand. Let's go back in time. When Zack Snyder's making this film, he knows that he's not going to be like able to release a 4-hour fucking film.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
It's.
I'm glad we got this full version.
Do you think that he was initially? I mean, what is the knowledge? Was he actually going to release a 4-hour version to start?
He said he got it down, like cut it down to 2 hours and 40. But that's like,
I'd be down for that.
I would be down for it, but I feel like you probably still need like 3 hours and 30 minutes to really maybe 3 hours at the least.
I think that he could do it in 3 or a little bit lower than 3. Because there's
Maybe.
a lot that you can cut.
Definitely all these, like I'm not going to say the hidden character's name. You can cut all of that.
Yes.
The very last scene where we're in the post-apocalyptic stupid shit.
Yep.
Cut that entire. That's the only thing they refilmed, by the way. That's like, they got Ben Affleck back for that shit.
Really?
I didn't know that. Yeah, they got him back.
For that? Why?
I don't know.
So bad.
I don't know.
That's kind of why his line delivery kind of seems shitty too.
Yeah, that whole thing is like
Just garbage.
They filmed it during COVID.
Okay.
So that's new. And from what I'm aware, that's the only new thing that he filmed, and everything was already done.
Really?
That's from what, like, I could be wrong. That's the one thing I know for a fact that they like did recently, and then everything else was like from 2016 when they filmed it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that they had all of that, and then they're like, fuck it, bring Joss in, we're going to refilm everything.
There's actually, when I think back on it, there's a lot that you can still cut. Like,
for sure, a lot of the Lois Lane shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because there's like, also, Cosmonaut Variety Hour said it, like some of the interaction between Darkseid, he's in this movie, I think people know that, and Steppenwolf, they could definitely,
because they do the same thing like multiple times.
That's what I mean. I don't remember.
I do.
But he was saying that like an hour later we kind of redo the exact same scene. So there is shit that you can cut. You probably could get it down to 3 hours, but still, like,
I like it.
I'm just saying,
bring more 4-hour movies.
I'm fine with it as long as like people, I mean, now that it's on streaming, as long as like I'd rather have the filmmaker like make something and not have studio like decisions like saying, oh, we need fucking more jokes because that's what people like. Yeah, that shit's annoying, obviously. I don't think Zack Snyder's films are for me personally, even though I like this one, and I think this is my favorite. I've never seen 300. This is my favorite film that he's ever made.
That's so weird. That's so weird that
I've also seen the Batman vs Superman like Ultimate Edition, and what it seems like is this guy just needs more time, because Batman vs Superman in the theaters was trash. Batman vs Superman with like more scenes to flesh out shit, still not great, but significantly better than before.
It is weird that he can't do pacing,
but it's not that he can't do pacing; it's that he can't like do it like
he can't pace out character development
like quickly.
Yes,
he really needs time to develop things, because like the pacing in the movie for 4 hours, it's not bad.
Yeah,
like you're not getting like bored in the movie. No. So like, even though something,
you could take a break in it.
Yeah, but the pacing's still good.
Yeah.
That's not the issue with him. Pacing's not wrong. I think just like he just makes long movies.
If you take like, it's split up into the chapters, this new version, and if you take breaks like in the first 2 hours where the chapters are, if you even took a break every single time, and then watch the final like hour and a half or so, you just have to watch it fully through. I think that it starts to grab you and you just are in it. You know what I mean?
I really do think you should finish it like within one sitting. Take breaks in the day, but the beginning's a lot of build up, but it's pretty worth it to get to the end. The end is like pretty solid. Yeah. Not the very end, but ultimately,
yeah. Like I said, I mean, because you cut that's like 30 minutes of the movie.
Sure.
And those can just be like I said, they can be thrown in as like a post. That's what they seem
or
like to
like
me.
bonus scenes.
Yes.
Like it's not even crazy.
Yeah.
They didn't need to read. They literally got everybody together to film that last scene.
Yeah, which means nothing.
Fun fact: people are like, "Oh my god, Jared Leto is like he's redeemed himself." He hasn't. No. He hasn't. He's not. I'm starting to. I don't like Jared Leto. I've said it. I don't like Jared Leto.
I'm starting to hop on that train.
The Jared Leto is like overrated.
Yeah, because I recently watched a movie where it was just like, I forgot what the movie is even called, but it has Jared Leto,
Denzel
Washington. It has the guy that plays
the Reverse Flash,
Freddie Mercury.
Oh, Rami Malek.
Yes.
Right.
So it seems like because even with your hatred for Jared Leto,
yeah.
It seems like a star-studded-ish cast.
And I don't hate Jared Leto for the Joker performance. I hate him for everything else.
I like 30 Seconds to Mars.
I don't.
No? Have you ever heard his music?
Sure. Fucking sucks.
You haven't heard it?
Yeah, I listened to it just so I can hate it.
This is what? It's really good.
Pretty cringe.
I like 30 Seconds to Mars. I actually think that 30 Seconds to Mars is best work. I've never seen what's the movie that he gets like
Dallas Buyers Club. He plays a transgender.
Is that the one that he gets? I thought
he's like a supporting actor in that.
Is he?
It's
a different movie though.
He's like the big.
It's a different movie.
He in Blade Runner 2049. He's good.
You're not naming even the movie.
Oh, you're thinking
he won something for it.
What the? Christian Bale, American Psycho. He's in that.
No,
he's good in that.
Why are you not naming the one movie that he's like won an Oscar for? It's Jared Leto.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Movies.
Supporting actor.
Requiem for a Dream.
No, I never seen that stupid shit.
Me neither. But that's like what he's known for. That's like his breakout role. That was his movie where everybody was like, "Oh, this guy's big deal."
The last thing I'll say about the film for me, I really like. At first, I was talking shit about the fact that it was a 4:3 aspect ratio. I thought that he was, because my impression of Zack Snyder is that he doesn't really have depth of his characters, because from everything that we've seen before, he kind of slacks on it. And especially because the last Justice League movie had no depth for anybody. Yeah. So I was like, he doesn't really give a fuck about like the humanity aspects of people or like getting to interesting stuff. He just likes throwing shit on the screen that looks cool, you know? He's really good at scenes. Like the Batman action scene in Batman vs. Superman is great. Or even like the Wonder Woman action scene in this is amazing. And or like there's a couple of Flash scenes that are great.
I mean, the most standout is the 300 scene.
The 300
with Leonidas is
the slow motion going
probably
fast. Right.
Like all of 300, like the action scenes in those at the time before he started doing it in every film. Yeah. Like the slow motion, this is Sparta. Yeah. One of the best scenes. And then you also have Leonidas running through the battlefield, like cutting off legs, doing like this slow motion work.
So that's what I was saying he's great at, and that's what I expected him to do. He is great at that. So I thought that the reason why he had the 4:3 aspect ratio was because he's like, fuck it, it looks cool. And like it didn't have really any depth to the thought. I now have like realized that I was wrong. His movie is shot in IMAX, and the reason why it's 4:3 is that he just wanted the full frame on it. And essentially he gets like, if he did it in like the 16:9, it would cut off the top and the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And he was like, fuck it. Like if I have he didn't take a paycheck for this movie to like make it. He was just like, I will finish this for complete creative control.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So it's like a complete love letter for him, himself, his family, his daughter.
It's also, I think it's very good for his career.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This movie will reignite his career,
it's changed my opinion on him. I was like, I don't know how these fucking hack directors keeps convincing people to let him do shit. Yeah. Him,
I mean, say what you want.
Shyamalan.
Like 300, I think gets kind of dragged a bit, but like it really was.
No, everybody says it's good. I've never
so
seen it.
Good. It was so, especially at the time. It was, like I said, one of the, like those slow motion, quick cuts where it goes from like slow motion to fast time.
I mean, everybody started doing that shit because of him.
Yeah. And it's just like, it was very revolutionary. It was good.
Yeah. And everybody who's worked with him, like all of the actors, like Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, they all love him.
Really?
They all love that guy. Yeah.
Have
That's
you
why they're all willing to like do this shit.
Have you seen the video of the comedian?
Which one?
Was
Oh,
like-
who's talking shit about Zack Snyder?
He goes, "Hey, what's your name?" And then the guy, he goes,
Zach.
Zach. He goes, "Why did you just get mad at me?"
Yeah.
For asking. He's like, "This guy is just like always getting mad because he always has to tell his name to complete strangers." And he goes, he was like, "What do you do?" He goes,
Film director.
"Film director."
Yeah.
He goes, "Anything I would know?" He goes, "You know anything by Zack Snyder?" He goes, "Yeah. Well, I'm him."
Yeah.
That's a really good, really, really good clip. Imagine
If I was that same comedian, I would have fucking like attacked him. I would have just started talking complete shit to him.
you would have bombed.
I would have bombed, and I would have like turned the performance on a hate for that guy.
Yeah.
Now that I've seen this movie, I like him. I've
Yeah.
changed my complete opinion.
I think, like I said, I think that especially if he did take a no paycheck, which is weird because you could still take something.
I don't
Sure.
know. I think he took an extreme like pay cut.
That's fine.
Just to be like, hey,
I do that.
let me do whatever I want.
Let me.
That's what Louis does on his FX Louis show.
Yeah, I mean, just like let me create, like, let me show what I have because especially like with what Joss Whedon put out, like
Yeah.
it's at some point, right? You don't just discredit Joss Whedon. I think when Justice League got the one that we originally saw got released, although like there was the thing that went on with Zack Snyder, he was discredited a bit because of that movie.
Zack Snyder?
Even though it wasn't his movie anymore.
Sure.
Because Joss Whedon has things underneath his belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah,
like
people-
in recent,
people went
with
in-
the same genre.
People went into that going like, the reason why this is bad might be because of Zack Snyder, and Joss
Yes.
did his best to try to fix it.
Yes.
Well,
then also I think that at the time, was it known right away? Like I think that it was a
oh my god, just have me do it, man.
I think that at the time too, it wasn't fully known why he wasn't like.
I think it was.
Was it?
People, they said family tragedy.
Well, yeah, they had that, right? But they also like there was this indistinguishable. Was he let go? Or did he step down? You know what I mean?
So
At the time.
you think it was like a little bit
Because I think even before this got
you think it was
released,
a
I
little
watched-
bit elusive. So like we're like, oh, I guess Joss has to come in and finish it.
Yes.
One thing that was said though is Zach goes, we're 99% of the way done. Joss is just doing some finishing touches, right? Like editing and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joss was like, we gotta do everything to actually, you know what? So I gotta say this. I hope that people when they take this away, nobody goes, what the fuck is Joss Whedon doing? He's a hack. Like he just completely ruined Zack Snyder's vision. I hope people don't think that because it's clearly not his fault either. It's definitely like Warner Brothers, the studio, going like, Joss, come in, fix this shit, do Avengers, and figure it out.
Yeah.
And he comes into a bad situation to a done movie already and goes, what the fuck? What am I gonna? And now we get
Who painted the Mona Lisa? Is it Da Vinci?
yeah.
Okay. Just for like, doing a comparison's sake. It's very weird that like anybody would take that away. And people will. Like there's just like ill-informed people. Like not very smart people that will just take it at
We'll
face
say
value.
like Joss is a fucking hack and he's ruined.
Yes.
Zack Snyder's masterpiece.
He did. But like what people don't understand is that's like giving a Pablo Picasso painting that's like partially done, almost done, and giving it to like Leonardo da Vinci, where like, Pablo Picasso, if like is just like shapes and like
Sure.
that make abstract art.
Yeah.
And then you have, a very defined artist like Da Vinci or something like that. Him going, this isn't done. We're not even close, because you have two completely different fucking like point of views. You have two different artists.
Yes.
You're taking an art piece and you're going, oh,
Yeah.
this isn't how I would do it.
No, yeah.
I mean, because even I'm sure that like everything's different from how Joss would do it. Because Joss Whedon would do like everything different, like lighting, everything.
I mean, if anybody who like is saying Justice League is the first one, the theatrical version is bad, because of Joss Whedon. I mean, just watch the Avengers. If you don't like the Avengers and you think that like that movie's bad, then maybe you can think,
I mean, I still don't think that he did a good job with it.
what, with the Avengers?
No, with Justice League. I mean, he can't be completely like, because
You realize that like so much of that movie is completely changed. And is that Joss at the helm like saying fuck it, we're changing everything? Maybe. But I really think that it's just like the pressure from the studio saying like change it. Figure it out. And him just like being put in a horrible situation. I mean, it's a horrible situation for the both of them.
for sure.
Except for now Zach gets to stand on the fucking like
Throne, that is the greatest movie of all time.
right, which is like cool, I'm glad. But I don't want people to like drag down. Although Joss though, like he has done some shitty stuff, I guess, lately. I guess he like has toxic work environments and a lot of people have been dragging him down.
Yeah.
Drag him down for that, sure, fuck it. But
I don't know.
I
still
don't
think
blame him for that bad movie.
he's still partially to blame. He's still partially to blame.
Sure.
Zack Snyder's still partially to blame.
Sure. Yeah.
Warner Brothers probably mainly to blame.
Yeah.
But
For
yeah.
sure. I mean, for sure then.
Yes.
I mean, whenever like their studios always do that. They always just go like, we don't think people are gonna like it,
Yeah.
so do it exactly how we think. And it's they're never creative people. It's always people who just like care about like the bottom
Bottom
line,
dollar.
the
Yeah.
bottom dollar. That's all they care about.
Hey, sex sells, comedy sells.
Yeah.
Throw that in here.
Yeah, they see Marvel. They go, you see that? Endgame just made like $1 kajillion, just the highest grossing movie. Not anymore, but highest grossing movie of all time.
It's still the highest grossing, right?
Avatar took it back, baby.
Grossing or viewed?
Highest grossing. Most money made.
Okay.
During quarantine, Avatar re-released in China, and they love it. They love it.
It's crazy that every person in Asia just loves Avatar so much.
They love it.
Because I don't ever go up to somebody in America and go, hey, did you love Avatar?
Yes, I did, and let's go see it now.
Hey, I know that we're in the middle of a meeting and you just brought that up. We can cancel this Zoom call, throw on Avatar right now as we speak. Nobody does that.
Everybody in China does.
But everybody in China does.
That's the reason why it's like the reason why it became the #1 grossing movie in the first place. And it's probably gonna if you
And there's just so much more people in China.
if you go on
as well.
Wikipedia, you can look at the highest grossing movies of all time, and it's like you see the list. It's usually most movies that have come out recently. Even like Jurassic World is like on that list. You're like, what the fuck, Jurassic World? But you like that's just what happens. That as time goes on, things make more money.
Yeah.
So there's another list called like adjusted for inflation. Gone with the Wind has been like the #1 highest grossing movie gone with inflation forever, which it came out in like the 20s.
Yeah.
I think it came out during I don't know, I might be getting my timeline wrong, but it's essentially when like money was like fucked.
Yeah. So like it was,
movies were expensive to go to.
Yeah.
And still everybody went to go see this movie. Avatar might even overtake
1939 film.
Yeah. Avatar might even overtake that because it came out in 2009 during like the Great Recession.
Really?
So it's like, and now people are seeing it now. Avatar 2, 3, 4, Avatar 6 is going to come out like year after year after year.
They're saying that?
They're in post-production for those movies.
Really?
You didn't know? When Avatar 2 starts coming out, for the next 6 years, we're going to have an Avatar movie. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Disney World right now, there's Pangea. Not what the world used to be.
You don't know about Pangea?
You don't know about the planet Pangea and the Unobtainium?
Yeah.
They have that going on
That
now.
movie is such a mediocre movie.
Such an average story.
Yeah.
Did you ever see it in 3D in theaters?
No.
Neither did I. And that's why people love it.
Really?
It's because of that, yeah.
It just like felt like you were in it or something.
I get as soon as it comes out in 3D in theaters or gets re-released, I'm gonna go see it because I never got to see it initially. And people who have seen it talk about it like, oh, that's something that you definitely need to do.
Really?
Yes.
And they just have that in China 24/7.
They constantly have it rolling.
Like they have like a New York Times in fucking Shanghai, right? Or whatever. Is it Shanghai, China?
Sure, it can be for the story.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And like their New York Times, rather than having like big billboards, it's just Avatar. Playing at all time. Hey, $5 to watch this.
What's the blue people named? The Na'vi. You don't remember
Can't
that
call
shit?
that.
The Na'vi?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just fucking love the Na'vi. The actual Avatar world is pretty fucking dope.
It's like all right.
So it's all right because of the movie that you've seen, but the lore is really, really in depth. Like the whole language,
Who created it? James Cameron?
James Cameron created everything.
Really?
But he had a lot of help as well. So...
And he had to dive to do this?
That's unrelated.
Why is that a thing that he did?
You get it to go the lowest person.
Yes.
The thing we're saying is that James Cameron got lower in Earth than any other human of all time with the submarine.
Yes.
Why did he do that?
Yeah. Do you know?
Because I think when you just make Titanic and then Avatar, you make the highest grossing movie of all time to overtake it by another movie.
Yeah.
You just decide, I'm the greatest person of all time. And I'm going to do whatever no other humans can do. I think that's what that means.
Is he going to also be the highest at some point?
I think he's already the highest, man.
He's
He's already on the top of the world.
That man's already floating.
That's what he fucking said when he won an Oscar.
What?
He does this cringy speech. I'm the king of the world. And everybody at the Oscar booed him, I think. They fucking hated the speech.
Really?
I don't know if they booed him, but like...
There's no way that they booed him.
People panned that speech because it's like, come on, man. Like, fucking calm down.
I mean, that's the Titanic line.
I know, because he made it.
Yes.
I know, but everybody's like, we saw the movie. We got it.
Yeah, we get it.
Okay, we get it, man. Chill out.
James Cameron.
Sure.
Because Avatar, right?
Yeah.
Very nice CGI and stuff. Very cool.
Groundbreaking at the time. It's the reason why we had 3D movies for so long, because of that.
Yes. The movie is good.
Sure.
It's not amazing.
No, like the story is not amazing.
Yes.
Same thing with Titanic.
Titanic, they're back-to-back films where, not back-to-back, but two films by the same director that just both blow up number ones for their time. Do you think that either one deserves that?
I don't know. So Titanic, when Titanic went on its run, I don't remember it. But
he did Terminator
2, and Terminator 1, yeah. And also Aliens, not Alien. And those are basically all the movies that you need to know for James Cameron.
Yeah, I had to look up, see if there... He literally doesn't have... Oh, he had Alita Battle Angel, a movie that sucked.
No, he didn't direct it. He produced it.
Oh.
Robert Rodriguez directed it. But he had a lot of input on Alita Battle Angel. That's... So, something that James Cameron does nowadays is that when a movie comes... When he directs movies, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not, like, amazing, but they're the number one movie of all time.
Why?
I don't know.
Because, like, his movie, like, Terminator was also huge.
Right.
Well.
Terminator 2 as well. Yeah. So, he does this thing where when he directs the movie, it's just number one. But he does, like, he executive produces a lot of movies, and he has a lot of input. Like an Alita Battle Angel. Or, like, all of the Terminator movies after. Yes. Like Terminator Salvation. Terminator, I don't know, Resurgence. Is that a Terminator movie? I don't know. There's so many.
Yes.
Before they come out, he goes on interviews and just starts, like, talking about... He just tries to push off all of the blame of these movies onto other people.
Yeah.
And I think he's already starting with Avatar, like, 2 through 6. Like, you can't really tell, but he's, like, pushing out, like, little hints that there's, like, some issues.
Yes.
So when these movies come out, I think he's going to already try to push... Because I think they're going to be flops. If you...
Because the issue is...
Who wants to see 2, 3, 4, 5 Avatar movies? It's literally Avatar 2 through 5 coming out year after year after year.
But who asked for... Like,
Nobody
just
asked.
China?
I think Disney asked.
Just China did?
China wanted it. It's going to crush in China.
It's annoying, man. Like, because those are movies that I don't want to see, but I'm going to have to see now.
I should show you this video about the in-depth lore that he has done and, like, the music that is in there. All the musicians who worked in it didn't make music for, like, a movie. They, like, really studied, like, cultures around the world and, like, combined all of these, like, really intricate, interesting cultures to make a really alien sounding, like, music and culture to put into the movie. Like, everybody worked extremely hard in the lore for that, like, whatever movie.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it. I don't have any, like, I don't know enough about music to, like, really explain the intricacies. There's a great video on it.
Yeah.
But I think that's, like, really why there's going to be all these sequels is because of how deep Pangea and the Na'vi are.
Yeah, and
I don't care.
I don't care to see
The Chinese do, though.
The Chinese do.
They love it.
They love that shit.
They go crazy
They
for it.
eat that shit up. I don't know
That
why.
and Transformers.
Do they like Transformers that much?
Like crazy.
It's
If
so weird
you
because
slap a robot in it, Ice Age, the animated movie, to sell that movie in China, they just slapped like robots on the cover. There's no robots in the movie, but they just put it on the advertising just to sell it to the Chinese audience. I don't know why.
It's very weird because it's like that in a lot of countries where it's like in America we're just like it doesn't make sense. Why is this so big? But like there's a joke about it in Big Bang Theory all the time. I don't know what movie or what show it is, but it's like it's about like a kid doctor. What is there a TV show about that?
Doctor Who.
Is it?
I don't know.
But it's like something along those lines where it's like TV shows about doctors. And it's the biggest show in India. But it's
I don't know.
It's been discontinued for like years in America.
I don't know anything about
and
that.
they're like, yeah, we just watched the new TV shows about doctors.
So a movie that, let's say there's a movie that you would like not necessarily expect, but is trying to be pushed onto the Chinese audience. Like, for example, the new Mulan. Disney was really banking on that movie to just fucking bang in China.
Really?
They hated it. Hated it.
If there's a movie
Also, I mean, we hated it too. Not that I've seen it. Like, the American audiences hated it.
Yeah.
But the Mulan release, Avatar came out, right? The re-release of Avatar made way more money than the new Mulan did in China. That's how much they hate that movie and also love Avatar.
Because was the movie even like it was probably like cultural appropriated and like
based on this one Reddit comment that I read, so you can take that with, I mean, complete 100% fact.
Yeah. We're not here to spit facts.
This one Reddit comment said, essentially that movie pandered to an audience with with Western values, like our values, where like they just totally misunderstood like what Chinese culture represents and like what they care about. So it's like a Western movie thinking that it's a Chinese movie and the Chinese going like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
We don't fuck with any of that.
Yeah.
That's what it's one Reddit comment that
I mean, because
I take for fact.
Yeah, I take it for fact too. I mean, 100 episodes later,
don't you love that?
We haven't had a fact yet.
No, I know. Don't you love that? You go on Reddit, you read this has like 1,000 upvotes, you go, oh, that guy's probably right.
Yeah, this guy's probably right.
He's probably just like some guy like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They say I'm a doctor.
It's very possible that is your Reddit comment.
You know what? I actually wrote that comment.
You probably did write that comment. And it's fine. I agree with it.
I actually hate.
I've never seen the movie, but I hate the movie too.
I know. I'm with the Chinese.
Yeah.
I stand with Hong Kong. I think that's what it's about.
I do stand with Hong Kong.
Hong Kong just hated Mulan.
I don't know I never understood that whole thing with like LeBron James. And was it about Avatar?
It was about Avatar.
He was, right?
Yeah.
It was just, hey, I stand with Hong Kong. Avatar is the best movie of all time.
He was talking about
Endgame versus Avatar.
He has stake in Avatar.
Yes.
And when people are like stepping on Avatar and his money,
they're stepping on him.
And people just need to
and people buying Endgame tickets, that's stepping on LeBron.
So
that makes sense.
He is basically saying like when people like say shit like that, they need to think about who they're affecting, like him.
Yes. Like
and
when you go around running your fucking mouth saying Endgames should be the #1 grossing film, you're talking shit about Hong Kong
and LeBron James. Because he's got stake in Avatar, the Boston Red Sox. Did you know that?
Yeah.
He's got a majority stake in that, or minority stake.
He just recently
bought on in.
Yeah.
Not just the Red Sox. He bought into bunch
of franchises or something.
It's like a group. What the fuck do you call them? I don't know.
Hedge fund?
Like a hedge fund. It's not a hedge fund, but it's kind of like a hedge fund who like handle a whole bunch of sports.
Recently found out with the whole like crazy thing with like stocks and stuff. Didn't know what hedge funds were. Because I always heard the term. I've heard hedge fund not as much as I hear hedge fund baby. Do you hear that ever?
A hedge fund baby is essentially
just a person who
grew up rich.
And
yes.
Yeah.
But a hedge fund is a group of wealthy people's money. It's like if I'm a wealthy person, I decide I'm going to give my money to this hedge fund, which is a bunch of other wealthy people. And then like 10 guys decide where to invest that money in.
All these different people's
and
money.
then you get earnings based
and because it's so much money, a lot of times it also has a huge stake in the
market.
In the market.
They can manipulate the market where they can like decide to short something or buy a whole fucking bunch of something, and then you have like other people going like, oh fuck, that stock is moving up a little bit. Then they start, and then it starts a little chain.
And also, we're not financial advisors. We barely know this stuff. We're just spewing out stuff as well.
I read this from a Reddit comment.
Yes, this was also
that I wrote.
This was another Reddit comment that David's written before.
James read it.
I read it as well. Yeah, and I agree with it. That is one thing that will never change. We could get 200 episodes in, whatever.
Yeah.
We are never, ever going to be experts on anything.
But I would claim to be extremely.
But we will read a lot of Reddit comments.
Sure. So most of them that I wrote.
Yeah, most of them David writes.
Yeah.
He types up stuff. The craziest thing is you should see how many /r like accounts that he subscribed to just to write on.
Yeah.
Like things that he doesn't care about.
No.
Like you don't care about like finance, but you're on r/
Wall Street Bets.
Wall Street Bets, yeah.
Yeah. I'm the one who actually started to the moon.
Yeah, that was your tweet, yeah. Yeah.
I was actually trying to get to the moon, and people took it as something else.
You wrote on you had the NASA Reddit pulled up, and you were trying to type on that.
I was trying to talk
to the moon.
I was trying to be an aerospace engineer.
Yeah.
Turns out I was in Wall Street Bets.
You had the wrong Reddit pulled up at the time. Made that, and that went to the moon.
So yeah, that's actually me.
That was you.
It was actually a mistake.
It was all you did screw up and put that in the wrong Reddit. But
where are we at with time? What does it say?
56 minutes.
Oh, we're pretty good. We're good to go.
But yeah, I mean, we could get to 200 episodes. There's just things that won't change,
Yeah,
we're at the halfway mark because we're calling it at 200.
Yeah, we're calling it. We're
calling it at 200.
Yeah, not much is gonna change. Our viewership's not gonna change. What we talk about is not gonna change.
Should we just get to like 200 and then just say we're done, and then create a new podcast with a different name?
Oh,
the soliloquy.
I'm fine with I'm fine with calling it quits at 200 and then just keep going.
Yeah.
I got no issue with that.
I'm fine with calling it quits right now.
Yeah.
And just keep going.
Yeah, we are officially done after this. This is the end of the podcast.
We
said it from the start. We're going to get to 100 and we're going to stop.
And I've always said it. You're the Batman to my Batman, man.
All right. See you guys never.
Oh, we're done at 56? Oh, we had 10 minutes before this, huh? But yeah, I guess so. We'll see you guys never.
Good night, everybody.